Hi, I'm Stephen, a teacher on Bridge Cup Academy, and today I'll be explaining to you the concept of the Rubik's Cube and how to solve it. Before we begin, we need to clear things up. So, no, you don't solve the cube one color at a time. Why? It has a lot to do with the structure of the puzzle. The Rubik's Cube has six sides and six colors with three different types of pieces. So if you look at the puzzle, it's three-dimensional puzzle, and in each side we have center. We have this, we have this, we have this, we have this, and this. A centerpiece only has one color, and there should be no other. Number two, edges. Edges are located in between two adjacent centers. For example, this edge is located between white and green, making it the white and green edge. Each edge has two different colors and they do not move on their own. Number three, corners. Each corner piece holds three different types of colors. There are a total of 8 corners around the cube, 12 edges, and 6 centers. Fun fact, a Rubik's Cube has 43 yeah, that number. You know what I'm saying? Possible combinations. So I guarantee to you that you won't get bored solving this puzzle. Okay, so to clear things up, why do you not solve the Rubik's Cube one color at a time? It's because whenever you move a certain color, it doesn't move on its own. For example, I want this white to go here. Now, if I want white to go here, I'll just go like this, right? So after you solve the white here, then you need blue here. You can't just take this blue and move it here, because if you move this thing here, you also have to move this. And that destroys that. So yeah, that won't work if you solve each color one by one. If you look at the puzzle in a different way, instead of looking at all 6 colors around the cube, you look at it in layers. So forget about the colors. When you just look at it, you have the layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. And that makes it a lot easier to perceive rather than like looking at all the colors and basically jumbling your mind. So, yes, you do not solve the Rubik's Cube each color at a time. Rather, you solve it layer by layer. Before we jump in, it is important to learn how we tell the different types of moves or notations used to solve the puzzle. This is important to learn because it would be helpful for you later on when you learn some algorithms. And yes, memorizations are required if you want to solve the Rubik's Cube without a guide or without a book. But don't worry, memorizations are really easy and it's not rocket science. I'll help you. First notation we have to learn is R. R goes like this. Go to your right side and turn it 90-degree clockwise. And if you see this or apostrophe on top, it's called prime. So if we have R and then we put apostrophe on top, it's the R prime. R prime goes the opposite way from R, so it goes 90-degree counterclockwise. Next thing we have U. U is basically up, so it's on top, and you do U 90-degree counterclockwise. And then for the opposite, just do U prime. Next is F. It goes like this, clockwise. And with F prime, again, just counterclockwise. Now for L, this might be confusing, but it's really easy to understand. Just, it's like doing the R from the back, but the L basically goes like this. So it opposes it from the R notation, but they basically are doing clockwise, but on the left side, and just L prime there. Now for D, meaning down or bottom, it will go like this. So you hold it, and you would turn the bottom clockwise, and D prime goes like this. Lastly, the notation B. So look at the back, just do B clockwise or B prime. Now, if you see something there like 2 after a certain notation, it basically means you just do them twice. Today I'm going to teach you this algorithm that would really help you a lot. And it goes like this: right side up, chop like this, and like this. And that is what you call the sexy move. And basically, you just do it like that. Now you have to learn the other opposite of that, which is on the left side. It goes like this. Now, without further ado, let's begin to learn how to solve this puzzle. Step 1, white cross. For white cross, we have to go on the white side with the white center and put it on top. After we put it on top, we have to look at the pieces that has white in it. For example, this has white in it, meaning it belongs to the white cross. And we have to look at the other. So we have this, and we have this, and we have this. Now, we're going to solve the white cross here. And we'd only be looking at the edges, not the corner, just the edges. We just have to find the white edges here with it matching the side centers. Okay, our goal is basically like this. Can you envision it now? Let's begin. Okay, so first thing we have to do is to put the white on top and then look at the white pieces. First thing we have to do is to put the piece on the bottom and align the front color. This case, we have white, and in front of us, we have orange. So we have to do align it first, and after we align it, we then bring it on top. So that's our first piece solved, and we do it to others. For example, here we have white, green. Since the front color is already touching this, we just have to do this or to put it on top. Now, this case is what would you do if the white side is facing you? All you have to do is basically put it on the correct spot and then do put it on top. Now, it's flipped. The way you fix it when it's flipped is basically like this. Put it like this, like this, and then like this, and then bring this back. And the next thing is you solve it. For our last piece, we have the same case. So first we put it on top, and then we do this, and then solve it. Now we have our first step done. Good job. Step 2, white corners. So for step 2, we're basically going to be solving the entire white face, but correctly. And this is what we call the first layer stage. The way you do it is basically like this. You put the entire cross on the bottom, and then you find corner pieces that has white in it. For example, we have white, green, red. Then this is a first layer corner. Now, pay attention to the other colors first. We have green and red. So clearly, this doesn't belong in this specific slot because we have green and orange, not green, red. So we find the green, red, which is here. And technically, this corner belongs here. So all you have to do first is you find the corner that's on top and then align it to the right slot and do the algorithm I told you earlier, which goes like this. Right side up, this. And now you basically solved it. And basically you do it to the other pieces. For example, here. This is green, orange, white. So we need to find the green, orange, white slot. So Notice we look at the centers to know which place this corner belongs to. So obviously this goes here. So all we have to do is to align it on the top, on the right side, and then we do the algorithm I told you, which goes like this. Now, it didn't solve it because we have to do that algorithm more times. So we just repeat it, not solved, repeat it again, and solve, and we just repeat it until we solve it. There you go. Now, lastly, what do you do if the corner you're looking for isn't on top and it's on the bottom here? So what you have to do is just do the algorithm I told you, which goes like that, and basically repeat it several times until you solve it. Now, what do you do if the corner piece you need to solve is on the other place, but it's not on the correct spot? For example, white, green, red is in between the orange, blue, white. So basically, what you have to do is just put it on your right side and just do the algorithm, and now it's on top. So all you have to do is put it on top and then solve it. So do the algorithm I told you until you solve it. Step 2, second layer. So if you look at it, we actually solved the white side, but not only the white side, the first layer. Now for the second layer, we'd be looking at edges, which has two colors in it. And then, since our top layer color is yellow, we need to find pieces that doesn't have yellow in it. For example, this, 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 and not these, because they they have yellow in it. So, in order to begin, what you have to do is to find again a piece that hasn't doesn't have yellow in it. Okay. For example, here we have the red and green. First thing we have to do is to look at the front color and it's red. Next thing we have to do is to align it to the color to the center it needs to be. So this basically aligns this. Now, since this goes to the right side, basically red, green, red, green goes here. Since this has to go to the right side, we do this. So we move this to the left side if it has to go to the right side, and then do the algorithm I taught you earlier. Goes like this. And then after that, you basically have to rotate like this to the left and do the other algorithm I told you. So basically, this algorithm, but on the left side. So like this, and you just do it. And now you solve one edge on the second layer. And you basically do that to all of the other edges. For example, here, again, we have orange, green. Orange, green goes here, in between here. So we align the front color first. Now this has to go to the left side. So if the edge has to go to the left side, you need to put it on the right side. So I put it like this. And then you do the algorithm again, but on the left side. Then you rotate here and do the algorithm again. Now we have this. So basically here, it goes to the left side again. So this, and then the algorithm. Then do fix it again, rotate, and do the other algorithm. Now, what do you do if the edge you need is on a different spot or a different slot? For example, here, I need to solve this green red, but it's in between green orange. So what you have to do is basically just the same algorithm. So you do the algorithm I told you, and then rotate, and then do that. And then you just basically have the basic steps. So you look at the front color, goes to the right side, so we put it on the left, do the algorithm, do the sexy again, and then rotate and do the sexy on the left. Now, What if it's basically on the right spot but flip? All you have to do is just do the algorithm again. So R prime U prime, then rotate to the left and do the opposite. So if you have trouble memorizing it, basically if you begin the algorithm on the right side, you rotate to the left side and do it on the left side again to solve it. Now basically we have this on top, so you just follow the basic principle. We align the front color, it has to go to the right, to the left, put it on the left, do the algorithm, rotate, do the algorithm. Step 3, yellow cross. So after we did the second layer, we're basically on the last layer, and it's not the last step, but we're on the last stage, if that makes sense. So, okay. After that, we just ignore this, put it on the bottom. And we have to make the yellow cross on top. But now, since we have a lot of things solved on the bottom, we won't be doing the cross in like the way we did it on the white. In this case, we have to memorize sequences of moves or algorithms. Now, don't be baffled by the word algorithm because it really isn't that complicated. It's really easy to memorize. Okay, the algorithm we need to learn is this. So, from any position on the top, make sure yellow center is on top, not white, yellow center. And we do this. So, basically, do F like this, and then do the algorithm that I told you, which is the sexy move, goes like this, and then do the first move but reverse it, so like this. So basically, we just repeat it few times until we have a cross on top. So we just repeat it again. So like this, sexy move, like this. Now we have a cross on top. Now that doesn't seem easy, and you may be wondering, wait, that didn't happen to me. It's because you just have to do those algorithm few times until you have a cross. For example, here, I don't have any yellow edge solve on top. So I just do the algorithm. Then now, once I have an L, for example, this is an L, you basically have to put it on the left top, so right here, and then do the algorithm. And we don't have the cross again. Now, once you have the line, make sure it's horizontal, not vertical. You have to put it like that and then do the algorithm. Once you did that, you have the entire cross on top solved. Of course, ignoring the corners. Step 4, solving yellow edges. So after you solve the yellow cross on top, we have to permute the yellow edges. So just like the cross, but we have to solve also the side colors. After you solve the cross, you just align it until you have few pieces solved. For example, here we have solved, but these two aren't solved. So if you have two pieces solved, you just basically put it on the right top and do this algorithm, basically right side up. You move this right, and then put it down again, or like this. And then you put it up, and then you bring it all the way. And then you just align it again. Now we solve the cross on top. Now, for example, you have two edges across from each other solved. So basically what you have to do is just do it from any side and then do the algorithm and then just keep aligning it until you have two edges solved. Put it on the right top and then do it again. You solved it. Step number 5, solving the corners. So after you solve the edges, we basically kind of have to solve the corners. For example, here we have the yellow, orange, green in the slot of yellow, orange, green. So this is technically solved on the right spot, but not solved like overall. So basically, our goal is to make everything like this. Every top layer corners like this. Now in this case, I have one solve. So if you have one solve, you just put it on the right side and do this algorithm. So do you bring this on top. Then do that. Do left. Solve this back. Then do like that. Now, for example, you don't have that. We just have one corner solved. So you just have to do it. Put the one correct corner on the right and then do the algorithm. And then you basically solve everything. Now, from the point on, we have to put everything on the bottom again and basically solve the last remaining corners. And then do the algorithm I told you. Now, you have to pay attention on how this works because you can potentially mess up the whole cube if you just made one wrong move. So you just do the sexy move from earlier, so like this. And we basically just keep repeating that until we solve the piece. So I just do that again and make sure you just keep doing it. Now I solve it. And after I solve this, I need to solve the next piece, right? But do not rotate like that. Because if you do, you will literally mess up your puzzle and you have to start all over again. So all you have to do is, if I need to solve it, I bring it here and then do the sexy move again. And then now it's not solved, do it again. And after that, you just align it and boom, you just solve the entire cube. Now that is if you have two corners. What if you have three corners? You basically just pick one, do the same thing, and then after you solve that, you align it under that slot, do not rotate, and then do that again, align, do that again. And after that, you just basically solve the Rubik's Cube. And voila! You just solved your first Rubik's Cube. How cool is that? Now, if you want to keep improving and keep getting faster in solving the Rubik's Cube, maybe we do more concise and in-depth tutorial on how to get faster in solving the Rubik's Cube in the near future. I hope you liked this video. Again, I am Stephen from Bridge Gap Academy, and we'll see you next time.